Good afternoon and welcome back to...
Or good evening or good morning, depending on where you are in the world. Someone might be listening from Melbourne.
I think let's get to the point. Yeah, people have asked me, did you stick to your business plan?
We'd need to have had one to stick to it.
There was no business plan. That being rude, Mum, if you were bad at your job, we would not be working together.
Really? Well, you can't get rid of us.
I could get rid of you.
No, you can't, 'cause we're family. Over to you, mustard pot. Let's just call you Coleman's.
We are talking about business today on Everyone Loves My Mother with me, Alice, Naylor-Leyland, and my
me.
delightful, annoying, maddening
Mother, who's sort of, it's all in the podcast. It just happens to have my name on it. What can I say?
But Mum, can I just quickly, I'm sure this will be cut, but Everyone Loves My Mother is about everyone else's mothers. It's not just about you.
We're all in this room. I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to leave it there, leave it there, leave it there.
It's meant to resonate with all daughters out there saying everyone loves my mother because they do.
I think it's good that she thinks it's entirely about her.
You know why? Because it makes me show up.
Yeah.
It's called Everyone Loves My Mother.
But me. Today.
Except for you. Well, we could put that in small print at the bottom if you like.
Actually, you know what? It wouldn't
Anyway,
be a bad
let's get
idea.
on to the
Can anyone
business.
get me some Tippex? Excuse right, but me.
Yes. This is the idea. It should be everyone loves my mother, but she's quite annoying.
We've just had another working week together and we haven't left each other's side. I think
about
you're
it.
ready to go home.
I am. Yep.
You are.
The engine's on. Should we just say the engine is running? The heated seats are on, even heated steering wheel.
We are going to talk today about our business.
Our business.
Yes. Mrs. Alice, which is not why we're doing
Fair.
this podcast, but it's probably why we're here.
Definitely why we're here this time of day in the midweek.
It's Mum, it's
I'd be at home with my friends having
3:46.
a cup. I would be, if we didn't have Mrs. Alice, I dread to think where I'd be, like on holiday or
Let's
something.
face facts. Usually at 3:45 in the afternoon, your mother's having sleep.
Yeah, she's in bed. So to be fair, you actually just literally dug yourself into the biggest hole. Like at this time of day, it's a Wednesday, not a weekend, and it's the middle of
Yeah,
the
but I've
working
been working over the weekend
day. One day, we worked on Sunday, Mum.
and Saturday.
Oh, we didn't work. Anyway, this is what happens when you have your first job when you're 60.
What can I say? Give it a go.
I suppose most of you don't know us, and we started a business called Mrs. Alice, which is a tiny, tiny business compared to the big, amazing ones out there. But we're still very proud of what we've done and what we've built. And we started at the end of 2019. I don't even really include it, but we wanted to sell a whole look for you rather than buying little bits of tableware from lots of different shops. We wanted to create basically a tablescape.
Well, I would like to say this was your dream and your vision, and we were approaching Christmas. It was late August, and you said, I want to put Christmas in a box.
I wanted to sell the whole look.
You wanted to sell the look, which was
Now-
very unusual, and that's how it started.
I've just realised we've made an error again, Mum.
Do we have to start from the beginning?
No, but we haven't told everyone what we're wearing.
Oh, yeah, what we're wearing. Ooh,
I think this is going to be like the running thing that we forget.
I think there's a word that I don't feel we can use very much.
What's that?
Professional.
Yeah, we are not professional. We are
We're
not.
so not professional.
How are we ever going to be professional doing
We're not.
this?
I mean, I had this sort of mad idea that Netflix might be interested. I now know
Not.
not a cat in hell's chance because we are
I'm
not.
worried it's you.
You're the one that should have brought it up.
Why?
Okay, I'm going to say, what are we wearing? I'll start today, and I'll be really quick
Okay, try.
because I am wearing a shirt
From me and Em.
from me because I love it. I want to show everyone how versatile it is.
She is a great businesswoman, though, so let's be proud. Real Brit success story. We're all sitting here because of Claire Hornby, I tell you.
Yeah, huge.
Inspiration.
In fact,
So-
guess what? My jacket's from her as well.
Jesus.
I know. Anyway, I am basically. Oh my gosh! I'm not joking. My trousers are also.
If you're not watching this, Mum's now gone red and can't breathe. She's also-
I'm truly. This is a me and M outfit, but it's not how
So are
they.
you sponsored?
Now there's a word I'd like to use. Claire Hornby sponsored me and M. Serena and me and M. Anyway, no, these are all me and M out clothes and not intentional, not purchased at the same time. Anyway, I'm a huge fan. And Roger Vivier shoes.
It's fabulous.
You
It's
can't see
actually
them.
one of the best looks I've seen. And interestingly, we'll talk
Well,
a bit
that's
about
depressing.
business and you and Mrs. Alice, but your favourite colours to design with, I think, are brown and blue.
Brown and blue. And my glasses, of course, as we all know, are
You don't
from...
need to say it every week, Mum. I can't even
People
listen.
ask me every week.
Really?
They're from Ryan Simke. Once again,
do you
Ryan,
not
haven't
remember?
heard from you. It's time. Over to you, mustard pot. Let's just call you Coleman's.
or Colonel Mustard.
Colonel Mustard from
yeah.
Cluedo.
I'm sitting next to Colonel Mustard.
With the microphone in the podcast studio.
I'm wearing one of my favourite suits of all time.
I love the suit.
It's a Bella Freud mustard suit.
She should have called it Coleman's.
It's a trouser suit for those who can't see. I'm wearing again my Paris, Texas brown suede boots. I'm wearing again, because I wear the same things,
So do I.
my Gucci caramel beige belt. And I am wearing a very, very old Zara shirt that's almost kind of, it's been worn so much.
It's lost a little bit of its colour, I have to say.
Oh, thanks, Mum. This is what I have to deal with. And then all my chains, which I bet you're all going to
Jingle
message.
jangle.
Yeah, they're jingle jangle. They all mean something to me. And actually, I will tell you a secret. This one here,
Yes.
if you are watching, has been on my neck ever since I started the business.
Which one?
The little St. Christopher.
Oh, yeah. Did you lose it once and had a complete
I had a
freak out?
Yeah.
I remember that.
So even if I don't wear it because I wear a dress at night, I put it back on at night. So the business I think won't crash in the night. So
Off we go. Kick off.
off we go, Mrs. Alice.
You
I
don't
think
know.
the thing that's interesting about Mrs. Alice is that we did build a following, or at least I did before we started.
You did.
And I think that is one tip. If anyone wants a tip, I'm not saying I'll be any good at it, that is a good thing to do, because you're almost building a kind of targeted footfall, to when you then announce your product, you've got these
You have a
people-
following.
Yeah, and
You
they're
had a
interested,
following.
but they're,
I didn't.
like they're going to like tableware if they were following me.
But how did you?
My very small big break was that I got a very small job at American Vogue. It wasn't even a job. I was a contributor. They ran quite a big story on me in my home. And that, I think, gave me a real American leaning in my following and my audience. And I think that kind of interest from the States about this British girl helped me kind of build my story and made me feel that people were interested in listening. And my love was and still is fashion. But I was hosting and I was entertaining as quite a young girl living in the English countryside. And I realized that there was a gap really for young people to talk about and to be interested in dressing their home. But I associated it with older people. And I know that's an awful thing to say, but I was 33 and I kind of was like, A, what do I know? B, I can't build a business about tableware. I didn't want to wear aprons.
I did.
I'm not very good at cooking. I thought it's all
I am.
inauthentic. But I thought, I'm going to do it anyway. So really, because of actual data from Instagram, that was one of my key moments. And actually from the support of my husband pushing me to do it. And I had a friend called Caroline with me as well, who pushed me to kind of be brave enough to dip my pond in to create this idea of a tablescape, which now
Dip your pond in.
dip my toe in the pond. I'm not good
She's
at that.
terrible
English
at
wasn't my
those
first
phrases.
language.
What was your
It
first
was
language?
your first language.
What was your first
Guys, I'm
language?
talking about something serious and then you interrupt
You
me.
dip your pond in doesn't make any
Okay,
sense.
fucking
Dipping in
edit it.
You dip your toe in.
I dip my toe in the pond
Okay.
of selling something. I wanted to sell a look and curate a look so you didn't have to go to lots of different shops. Your placemat would match your napkin.
If some people weren't necessarily sure of what to do, you were
Exactly.
holding their hand. And some people who were sure, who went outside our box but created their own individual box. But you gave those who weren't sure, who perhaps didn't have enough time, perhaps just wanted to create a table quickly over the Christmas period. Bingo, there it was, all in a box. It
And
was
this
genius.
was at a time that it's taken me 6 years to be brave enough to say this, that the word tablescape was not used.
No.
It was not
No.
a word. We had an American beloved godmother staying, Rachel, and she went, I just want to say, like, we're not going to know what a tablescape is. And our product was called the tablescape.
Yeah.
And that's what we wanted to deliver. And I just thought it was a crazy idea. And I fulfilled orders out of my guest house and I didn't know what I was doing. And people
we
have
all made
asked
the
me,
boxes ourselves.
yeah, people have asked me, did you stick to your business plan?
We'd need to have had one to stick to it.
There was no business plan. When I say this was a whim, we came up with the idea on the bank holiday weekend in the end of August. I went to Paris. I bought some products with Tom
In September.
in September. And on November the 1st, we launched and we took £100,000 in those 2 months of trading. And I thought,
Goodness.
Goodness. And did I ever think we'd take £100,000 in a day?
No.
No. Then COVID hit. And
People started to look.
well, but before that, Mum, no one bought. So we then thought, okay, we started this business. We don't really know what we're doing, but we're going to carry on. We're going to buy Easter. We bought Easter. And on about March the 4th, everything had shut down. And that day we took £16 or something. And I had this, not a warehouse, basically a bedroom filled with bunnies. And I thought, we're screwed. But actually, that really helped us because people were in their homes. Helped us is an awful thing to say.
Yeah.
But there was a focus on the home. And I do think that COVID for the home has been an amazing, like one positive of such an awful pandemic because people have stayed focused in the home.
They have. We didn't know if they would, but they have.
They have. And they are still entertaining around the table, sitting around the table. And, you know, Elizabeth Saltzman, I've name-checked her a lot, but she was actually very instrumental in the start of my journey. And she just said, she's a stylist. And she said, Alice, people are not just dressing themselves. They're dressing their table.
Yeah.
They're dressing their home. And that's what we really wanted to deliver.
Exactly.
And in that year, I think of all the years I've ever traded, which has only been 6 years, it was the craziest. We sold £2 million worth of stock effectively in our first year. Not knowing what we were doing, not knowing, I mean, anything about running a business.
Not knowing about shipping, not knowing about packaging, not knowing about weights.
We had
and
only
dimensions.
one person in the business had any background in buying.
Who is that?
Daisy Monkton.
Oh, yes.
She's the only person. All of us. That was really the beginning. And I think that, I'm going to talk about you in a minute, Mum, but I think
you
that
don't
the
need to talk about me.
the best thing about being a founder, there's a lot of problems of being a founder, but the best thing is that nearly every job I hire for, and we're now about 40, 45 people in the business, I've done the job myself.
You absolutely have.
We've wrapped those products and we have packed them and we understand what volumeric weight means. And we've made ads and we've made, I mean, that's like the easy part, but that really helps. And that helps invigorate your team when you kind of know the problems that they're facing. I think we should talk about your role quickly.
I think I do. I mean, quickly if you want.
I think we should talk about your role because I don't think people really know how much you do for Mrs. Alice and what your job even is, rather than being like the funny person in front of the camera.
Well, I do that job well, I think.
Very modest.
No. I am the person in front of the camera with you, Alice. We do that. But
I'd love
behind
it
the
to just be
scenes, you and I work. What do I do? I mean, I could say something like, what don't I do? No, there's a lot I don't do. And I have said this many times. It really does take a village.
Yeah,
I mean,
but-
I come
but
up,
let's
okay,
get
what
to
do
the
I do?
point. What do you do?
I come up often with an idea for a design, for a pattern, for a colour, for a theme, for a plate. I will work on it with Daisy Cave, with an artist, and I have to say, then it takes a team from that moment on to get that product that I've had a thought of on that table or in your home requires a good 40 people. Yeah. But you
do yourself down because I want to make money, right? And often when I talk to often businessmen, they're a bit like you work with your mother. As a kind of like,
are they being rude?
A little bit, actually.
Well, bring me into the room.
As a kind of like, you work with your
Wheel me
mother,
in.
how sweet. Now, without being rude, Mum, if you were bad at your job, we would not be working together.
Really?
Yes.
What she's trying to say is that you'd be
would you
fired in a
fire
hot
me?
I
second.
just wouldn't have continued this process. I gave you part of the company before you'd even worked for Mrs. Alice. So it's not about that. You are older than me and I think that's helpful. Your design acumen is stronger than mine. You have a
So what's her design? What's her title?
She's the director of
yeah, I
design.
love that.
She gave herself that title.
I didn't. I actually didn't. No. God is my witness. I remember exactly where I was.
Okay, well,
You said we're going to give you the title, and I mean, I couldn't believe it. I mean, it's embarrassing. I hadn't had a job before.
It is
I think, as the
embarrassing.
late Queen said, recollections may vary.
No, I'm sorry, Tom. I did not come up with that title.
But you do come up with brilliant ideas, and I think that one of the ways we work very well together on a design level, which again people don't really know that we do, is I'm much more commercial than you, and you have much better design style, and so we almost rein.
Yeah, so I respect
rein
you.
each other in,
I mean, I would have everything brown and blue or blue or brown,
or green and blue.
or blue and green. But you say to me, Mummy,
That
no,
didn't sell.
that didn't sell, and we have to, and I take it when things don't sell, don't I?
But you really are brilliant. Also, you're the mother to us all in the company, and I think last
And
week,
the podcast.
yeah, I mean, everyone loves my mother
Listen,
at the
yeah,
podcast.
well,
So
what can I say?
Everyone loves my mother-in-law.
Well, thank you, Tom. We are a great family, and whenever we make a hire, I really do think that we consider how they will fit in. Not just, are their skills good enough? Are they strong enough? But will they fit into the Mrs. Alice team? It is an unusual group.
It is a
of people.
family.
It is a family.
I think that people talk to me a lot about like the beginning of
Yeah.
the journey and the biggest leap of faith we took, and I think that blind faith was the key. But I think that what we did do, which I've started to mentor some startups in the UK, and I was talking about our warehousing. This sounds like a very boring topic, but what I did was I basically subsidized US shipping. So Mrs. Alice was paying for a lot of US shipping at the very beginning of our journey. And that was literally like giving our profit to DHL.
Yeah.
But it allowed us to attain and acquire these customers without paying for them through social or paid ads, and saying, right, we believe Mrs. Alice has got legs. We believe that if we subsidize their shipping costs, they're going to keep on shopping with us when we finally have an American warehouse. I thought we'd have an American warehouse in kind of year 6, but I think we got one in year 4.
3 years ago?
Year 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that was kind of a bit of a leap of faith, because you were thinking, God, should I be doing this? Should I be paying literally like £40 for every order? Sometimes it was much more. So we literally kind of would package from our guest house. Then we moved into one warehouse in the UK. Then we moved into, Tom, what was it, 10,000 square foot?
Yeah.
Then we knocked through and it was 20,000. And now we have a fulfillment center in the US. So that sometimes feels kind of mad. But
What do you find the most frightening thing about being the founder head of Mrs. Alice?
what do I not find frightening? Failure, I think.
And
just-
letting the team down.
you can answer for me, I'm sure.
Sorry,
but
no, when you say failure.
I think letting the team down. Weirdly, I feel like we're big enough now that if I let the team down, hopefully they'd have like good years on their CV, and I'd let the team down less. But I think if you'd listened to my fertility episode, it's the same kind of way. You kind of just have to keep on going. Like, I think fear of failure stops a lot of women in particular working and doing the right thing. And for me, one thing that we'll talk about in a minute is that I actually fear failing more, that I failed on the time I might have spent with my children. And that's a really weird phenomenon.
No,
but I'm like,
that's very understandable.
yeah, if this doesn't come to something I've worked this hard and it's all going to collapse. But I think that you've just got to keep on the blind faith. And also know when something's not working.
We've all got to admit when something doesn't work, and we've got to go, look, we thought this colorway would work or this category would work, and it didn't for
and
whatever
knowing
reason.
when to pivot.
Exactly.
Knowing when to say, you know, our
Exactly.
scented candles didn't work. That's because I think you got to smell them, but because they're really
They,
good.
they are really good.
Or like our frilled cushions didn't work.
Nope.
But knowing, and also just knowing, knowing, Alice, you're sending products from the UK to the US. You have got to go and open a US warehouse. You know, doing things like that feel scary. But I think I have a really strong support network. And I think that the majority of the time I get on with my husband very well. Maybe not this morning.
This morning wasn't so good.
No, but
It wasn't a good start this morning.
yeah, that was a meltdown of my week. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Is this a moment for the moment or meltdown?
Well, I'll quickly say the point is that I do feel that the joy of working with family is that you've got two people, your mother and your husband, that you can say 400 mushrooms are stuck on a ship on the sea and it's ruined my week. No friend of yours would understand that. You know, no friend of yours would understand. They're in a decoration set. It means this is all ruined. We've shot them like this. And I think that support is huge. And I don't know if I'm tough enough to do it without that.
Well, you can't get rid of us.
I could get rid of you.
No, you can't, because we're family.
That sounds like a threat, Serena.
But but you can't. I mean, that's the thing. We're here together, all in this boat together.
We are.
Rowing our canoe.
Hopefully we'll be in a nicer boat soon.
I'm longing for that.
Also about failure, I think that word pivot is really good in a business, in that I used to write every order, I would give them a handwritten letter.
Oh, yes, this was classic.
Looking
A
at back,
postcard.
A postcard.
Handwritten postcard. But it would say, thank you for buying the bears. Thank you for buying the linen. Thank you. And then it was like, God, okay, that's going to take up too much of my time. So I'm going to now, if you spend a certain amount, I'm going to write you a letter. And then that didn't really work. So I now just have my handwriting, maybe I shouldn't admit this, copied. And it's a really good copy. But you still get a card from me. One lady who has ordered so many times.
So lovely. We won't mention her name.
We won't mention her name.
But you know who you are, and we love you, and we thank
I
you.
think she's ordered 140 times. Or something.
172 now.
172
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
She's got free shipping for life, isn't
She
that
does,
right?
she
Yeah,
does.
She does.
But
But
we-
one time she didn't get one.
One time she
You
didn't
were
get
away.
a card because I was away. And she actually complained. And
Do you know what you should do, Alice?
We know what we did.
When she gets to her 200th order,
I'll personally deliver
you
it.
should deliver that.
Yeah, I did deliver an order the other day and they were a bit shocked. It was in our village.
Yeah, that was great.
But anyway, thank you for ordering 200 times and I will be there to
But
deliver you.
when you heard that she wasn't happy that she hadn't received this card in her order,
To try and make it better, I personally called her and she was a bit shocked.
Yeah.
But I said, I'm really sorry I didn't write a card. I was away and I wanted you to get your order on time. But from this moment, she must have, the cards are quite thick we send. I mean, she must
Probably
have
wallpaper to run.
piles of
Yeah.
cards. Maybe she
Yeah.
has. Anyway, let's talk about the moment and meltdown
okay,
of the week.
I'm only doing a moment this week.
What
I
was
haven't
that,
had
Mum?
something I was gifted. Can I show you? You're going to be green.
No, you can't
I
just
am.
show product.
It's please, Alice, please. I mean,
This is a no from me, just so you all
Go
know.
for it.
look. I mean,
Ooh, it's noisy.
Look. Hello.
Will you
Hello.
explain to the viewers what it is?
It's a
The listeners, sorry.
leopard handbag
I can
with
see
a
that.
well, viewers who are listening can't.
Mm-hmm.
With a bamboo handle. It's the most beautiful little thing. Look at this, beautifully made. Still got the paper in. Hashtag gifted.
Okay, so that was
So
your
is
moment
that
of the
made
week.
of real leopard?
Yeah, sure, Tom. Sure.
Can I
sure.
just say, in your contract, you just showing stuff you're gifted isn't going to go into like moment of the week.
Well, this is going to go into moments of the week because I'm at my week was made by this moment. Thank you very much for the lady and be in the show notes.
Well, we have
Madame
different-
Mink.
We have different
I think it's
priorities
got my
in life.
name on it. Hold on. It
Anyway,
says it belongs
and
to me.
Alice?
I think my son dressed as a Victorian for Victorian Day was high up there.
Yes.
He looked adorable. My daughter Margot strung 3 words together. That was big.
What did she say?
Betsy,
I'll
stop
put my
it.
moment down. And she said to you, she said, come.
Come,
She
I know
wanted
we're
you
not
to come
on
home.
the phone. Yeah, meltdown was my husband not being organised for this podcast.
That was not good.
That was not good.
That was not good.
Hopefully he will learn. But let's go back to talking about the business.
Yes.
We will talk a bit about social media and marketing, but I think it is interesting to talk about the team behind us.
Yes.
And we are, as we mentioned, about
45.
45 people. And we've got a London office, which your friends are often surprised by.
A lot of people, yes, don't believe we have we do. We have a London office in a very nice part of London. I'm going next week to drive everyone mad and waste a lot of time.
But true, you are a time waster.
I am a complete time waster.
But we do all of our designing here in Cambridgeshire.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a design studio here. But I'm often amazed by people really are surprised that we even have an office. And I'm kind of like, what do you think we kind of just like find the product and like poof, like
I
bewitched
know, and people
it?
are always surprised. They sort of, but is Alice really involved? I'm like, involved? You'd almost be sellotaped to a plate and sent out. You're so involved.
I think that is a problem with being a founder though, is that you
They think you're just the face and that you wander around in one gown.
Can
to the
Alice
next.
explain then? What
Yeah.
is like a normal day for you?
I
What are you
think that-
actually doing?
I think the problem with being a founder is that you actually find yourself, you might do a better job if you stopped being such an octopus. I think it is very hard when you've done everything from the beginning to say, right, these trays have been lost. It is not my problem.
It's not the right colour. The
These
Pantone was
lampshades have sold out. It is not my problem. As you say, plates have come in and the Pantone's wrong. Those were fires I used to fight. And I think now I'm a better leader if I can trust in my team to solve the problems.
Yeah.
But it's not easy because it's your baby. I mean,
Yeah.
and by the way, I love what we do. I love it. But to any mother out there who can like associate with this, I mean, this is harder than all my children put together in one go. Like it is wonderful and fulfilling, but completely exhilaratingly exhausting all at the same time. And you live and breathe it. And I think that is one hard thing about like when you're trading things, you can get sucked into the success of it. When you have a slow sales week, I find myself a little bit on edge.
You're questioning it.
Yeah.
And on the phone to our lovely CEO going,
Yeah.
why is this
What's this
happening?
happening? Is that-
What's going on? What's going
The
on?
highs and lows.
The highs
are
and lows.
more
And understand. And then
extreme.
boom, it pops back up. And
But then
that
the
was
highs
why.
are the best ever.
Yeah.
And we're often on our amazing tours in America when we get the highs. Daisy, Tom, Serena, and I, when Mum behaves, she can come. And they are
when I
so
don't behave, I
euphoric
can
when you
come.
hit your best sales day ever, and you're looking at the figures come in, and
Walking through San Antonio Airport.
and you feel like you really do have the world at your feet. So, did I say that one right?
Yeah, it's good enough. Yeah.
But I think travel is a huge amount also of what we do, and it's great to go and meet.
It is.
Our
It's
customers.
lovely to meet our customers.
You're very good at it.
I love people. I love talking to people. I love being given the opportunity to speak to our customers and learn from them. And they'll say, look,
Yeah.
we'd love to, Serena, have you thought about, caramel and pink, or my dining room's blue, or I wish you did this sort of placemat, or we always have a big number, so please do more round, or do more round tablecloths. And we listen to people and we learn a lot from these tours.
We do. Well, if you're good enough, you can come to the one in November.
How good do I have to be?
Well, you've got 2 new shoulders now, so you can't complain too much. But I think that's also part of our marketing strategy. Sorry, Tom.
No, one of the reasons why the podcast is called it what it is partly to do with the tours. Do you want to explain?
They come in and they kind of push past me.
Are they disappointed?
And they're like, there she is. And I'm thrilled because I'm not as good at speaking to people as my mother
Alice
is.
runs for the hills.
I run away.
And I'm like, come on,
Basically,
take
people-
a ticket.
People want to see your mother.
Take a ticket. Did you hear what she just said? Did you actually
No, but I
hear
like
that?
people, Alice. Do you like people?
You like attention.
I no, I don't like it. I like people.
Sorry, everyone in the room. Does my mother like attention?
Yep.
Yeah. No, that's the difference. I don't like attention. I love people.
Do you?
Yeah,
Okay.
I do.
Just
But
clearing
I'm
clarifying.
more shy than you. I'm not ready to. You're just like, let me tell you about my lipstick. Let me tell you about my coat. Let me tell you anything you want to know.
I like sharing it. But I do enjoy. And we really have a laugh on tour. I mean, it's not always fun. It's definitely not easy. It is grueling. We'll have a day working all day, pack up paper, wrapping, boxes, all sorted on the plane, 10 a.m. flight. Next city up, 6 a.m., new location. But we have fun. We have a laugh.
We do.
It's tiring, but it's
It
very
is
fulfilling.
exhausting, but it is fun.
And I think that there does become a moment when you talk about the fear of failure that you have to say, I'm not going to fail because I've built this. So whatever happens tomorrow, if people stop eating in their dining room, if they stop designing, want our designs in their homes, if they're not interested in our lighting and our homeware and our whatever it is we're doing, we built something from nothing with no investment, with just an idea. And I think that is what, particularly in England, we're bad at just giving ourselves a tiny bit of credit for.
No, I agree. I agree.
That sounds very like I'm patting myself on the back. I'm not. I'm actually trying to say to other people out there, stop and look at what you have achieved, because I think that I've been bad, definitely bad at that. I think a lot of people asked, really for me, one of the most poignant parts of talking about business, and maybe this doesn't paint me as a very good businesswoman, but is how you can balance kids and work. And
It's very difficult, but you do a very, very good job of it, Alice.
No, you're sweet to say that.
You
but I
walk
think
in that door from meetings in London, you put your bag down, and you go straight in. Straight in.
Well, I think at a minimum, seeing your children is a good idea. But I think that it's talked about a lot, and people have come out. I'm very inspired by Emma Greedy, who was the first person to say, by the way, this idea of balance is bull. I'm not saying she saw, but you're absolutely right. If you are going to put your career alongside bringing up children, you are not at that nativity. You are not at that coffee morning. Not always. Because you are missing things. And I think
You are at pretty much every nativity. You may not be
I don't miss
at
a
every coffee
nativity.
morning, but I would say you are at every major event for the children.
But balancing it is not easy. But I think one thing that helps is you have to then exert yourself on the hours you are there.
Yeah.
And in a way that helps, because you luckily haven't actually done if they're a bit whiny at pickup, but when you are there, you are like, let's be the best mother of all time for the hour and a half before bedtime. Let's make bath time fun. Let's put bubbles all over the bath. Do you know what I mean? Let's overcompensate for the hours that you haven't been there. I think that's also why I go so mad on birthdays and kind of Hallmark days, because I'm trying to give them this. Tom's
Yeah,
looking
but Alice,
frustrated,
you're
doesn't
there.
see
But
that.
Alice, you are there for the sort of dull bits. You're not just there about the fun bubble bath. You will get up, you will do that school run, you will load them in the car, come back, get into hair and makeup, do a day's filming, and then be back in time to pick them up. I mean, it's not just the fun bits.
Well, but I think the great thing is as your children get older, they probably start realizing what you do and maybe
They do.
are a bit proud of you, which sounds very arrogant. I recently did a photo shoot at a freezing castle, and Daisy and Tom were, as ever, trying to kill me off. And I was literally sat on the top of this balcony, I mean, so high. And my eldest daughter just looked up at me and she said, "You're so cool." And that
Cold.
just no, cool, not cold.
I know, but you're also
and
very,
that
very
just
cold.
made me. You then actually start doing it for them, so the balance becomes much easier when they understand what you're doing. But it ain't easy.
No, definitely
How do
not.
you balance it all though, with your age? And I don't.
No, the age thing, yeah. I mean, I can get tired. I have learnt more to be honest with all of you and say, if I am tired, I want to have a rest, or no, I can't do that, or yeah. But it is interesting at this age in my life to be this busy. But I appreciate it. I love it. I'm grateful for it.
But also, what else would you be doing?
I've got no idea annoying people. I mean,
No,
you wouldn't
but-
be talking to me because you'd be so busy.
But isn't I think it's so inspiring what you're doing and what you know, the following you're building. I mean, look, there's a whole podcast named after you because of how
who'd know
iconic
that?
you are.
I know. Well, we've done a few episodes. Once again, hello, Mum.
Palmer,
Serena,
thanks
hang
for
on.
listening.
Where are the rollers?
I took them out.
I didn't recognise you.
Oh, well, yeah, the followers probably don't.
But no, you balance it all very well, Mum, and you do forget that you are that little bit older, and it is super
A
impressive.
lot older, Alice.
But it must be very fulfilling at the same time.
It is. It's very, and I'm hugely grateful. I am to have been given this opportunity this late. I mean, I would never have seen this coming.
No, nor would I really.
Nor would I, absolutely. And when I look at this label on this thing, everyone is mad, absolutely mad.
Everyone does love you, Mum.
Well,
Is it question o'clock?
It's question o'clock.
It is question o'clock.
So, first question from S. Han. I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. What inspired you to start this business?
Well, I think going back to the beginning, it was the idea of really curating that look. I know I've said that, but to help people, to take the hassle out of hosting.
and dress yourself, dress your home.
Dress your home, dress your table, but don't then make mistakes. I genuinely used to buy things from lots of different places. I'd put them all together on the table and it looked awful. And I'd overspent because I thought that the mushroom would work with my tablecloth or whatever. And we try and make that whole look sing.
Curation.
It's curation. But also
Considered curation.
It's considered curation. And that's one of the proudest kind of bits of data from our business is our average products per order.
There are so many three-letter words. I don't know what they mean. I pretend in the meetings I do.
Anyway,
I know what AOV
just
means
basically,
and MOQ
our,
means.
Our AOV is really high, but also the amount of products people put in their basket is very high for our average order value. And that makes me super excited because people are going, I can't just buy the tablecloth. If I'm going to buy the tablecloth, I need to buy the napkins, I need to buy the placemat, and I'm going to add some bunnies too.
Yeah.
You know, and that really makes me tick because that's why we're doing it. We don't just sell one lamp, one lampshade. We
No.
sell a pair of lamps and a pair of lampshades. And guess what? Our lamp bases don't sell on their own. They sell with the lampshade because we are there saying this shade works with this space.
Yeah.
This color works in this location. This color works on this tablecloth. And so that definitely makes me tick.
From Laura J. Haynes. Manufacturers and suppliers, how do you source them?
We travel a lot.
Yeah.
We travel a
Yeah,
lot.
we do.
We meet our suppliers. We want to grow with our suppliers. A lot of them, though, come to us now.
A lot come to us, but we just constantly find them all around the world.
All around the world.
From Diana. You've got your idea, you've got your product, you've got your website. Now what?
Podcast. We're here, Diana. That's what we're doing. It's podcast.
That's when
There
it gets
you are.
really
You are.
hard, is all I'll say, Diana. That was the easy
Yeah,
bit.
yeah. So what next?
You have to market your product, I think, and we've always done that very naturally. Is in we were lucky to have an Instagram following. I think that my husband was very clever, starting to make these reels. That my mother was what?
Yeah, we're gonna be.
all
Let's
about
pump
Tom.
up Tom. Tom pushed us and pushed us. You were a tiny bit anti these videos. You were a tiny bit anti, tiny bit tricky, and Tom was like, just a few
It
minutes,
wasn't
just a few
tricky.
minutes.
I just didn't want to be filmed. And now look at me.
The thing is, you're so good at the stills. I'm less good, move your arm right, left.
I think building a brand and building that authenticity is really important. And I would agree that it would look too glossy if it was just the photos.
We like to show it how it I don't even know that people ever see how it really is, because
No.
it's not always really good. I can tell you that.
It's not. It's
My
not.
view is that you couldn't stand, Alice, you look amazing, but you couldn't stand in this amazing dress, in front of this amazing table, in front of this amazing house, and then not have the taken out of you a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the fact that, you don't take yourself too seriously, that's very important.
Well, we
Because things
try.
do go wrong.
But that's also why we want to do this podcast, to really say
Because
how it really is.
Life ain't perfect.
Life ain't perfect,
No.
but we're still skimming the surface of this podcast. So, we've got one more question. But, if you are still listening, and we've got more listeners than Palmer is my grandmother, by the way, then we will go deeper into this business. We'll talk about the shoots. We'll talk about the designing. We'll talk about, if you're still there.
So there's another question. What do you enjoy from Gregory? What do you enjoy most about running your own business?
Do you enjoy anything about it?
Everything. It's interesting. Running is different to owning it. Running is harder and owning it is easier. If you ask me what's my favorite thing about owning a business, it is a sale. Nothing is more delicious to me.
I can see when you look bing, bing.
A little $5,000 order this morning, that makes me tick. Maybe I shouldn't say that. You can beat that out. But that's what I love about owning a business, because that's why we're all here. Like,
But we
there's
do
no vanity
hate-
project. Going back to running a business, it is without doubt the team. Without doubt. And genuinely seeing parts of the team that I work with love their jobs. And 2 of the team are in here right now looking down their computers. But I just traveled.
Loving their
I
job.
just traveled with someone recently, and she enjoyed what we were doing so much. She was so organized. She was so efficient.
Unbelievable. I mean, I complained the whole time.
You complained
Not
the whole
one
time.
little ounce of complaint from her.
And also the Sunsilly, but employing people. It feels nice and it feels good. If this business can help people, that makes me as happy as I could be.
I have a question,
Okay.
Tom.
which is just what have your favourite moments been of the last 6 years? Because I've got a little history of the brand here. I don't know if you
I
know.
think not illegally, we have not done anything illegal, but
I don't think that could possibly be true.
Sorry, it has occurred to me, Alice, that in the world of homeware, there's obviously a great icon of all of yours, Martha Stewart.
Oh, yes.
Now, she, as I saw in the documentary, did end up going to jail. I don't think that you're going to be taken seriously until you go to jail. And I think, therefore, you need to,
I'm not going to jail, Tom.
Nor am I.
No, but I think until you do, people are not going to take you seriously.
No, they take Alice seriously.
I think that doing our first event in the US with Elizabeth Saltzman, who just said, you're coming to America and I'm bringing you here. And I went, Elizabeth, it's COVID. We can't get into your country. She went, you'll work it out. Seeing Mum hold a turkey was good for me. But we have bored you all rigid because I can talk about business for so long. But next week, we're going to talk about how you stay married. How do you survive a divorce?
Do I have to come to this?
See you then, Palmer.
Bye, Mum.
Bye.